Hello UNLV people. Today I'm going to show you how to use SCP and SSH between your local machine and a remote server such as Sally. If you're using Windows, there is a new feature in Windows 10 that is an Ubuntu terminal. So you can download it from the Windows App Store. There's a lot of tutorials available online. And so this is basically a Linux terminal, and anything that I show you can be done through here, so you can quickly SSH directly without opening a VM. If you're using Mac or Linux, then you can just open up a terminal and do everything I'm showing you here. Now, I'm making this video unlisted because I am listing my username, because otherwise I have to like censor the video and that takes too much effort. So anyways, let me show you how to SSH. So the way you SSH is you go ahead and you type in the keyword SSH space your username. In this case, my username is Fonseca8 at, and then the name of the server, which is Sally, Bobby, Cortex, Cardiac, Java, whatever it is, .cs.unlv.edu. Dot typically tends to be the same. What changes is the server name. Then you press enter. Then it's going to ask you for your password. Now, I'm not going to tell you what my password is. Unfortunately, Linux actually hides your password when you're typing it in. So you will see I just typed things in. You might have heard the keyboard, but you don't see it there, and that's a security feature actually. And then you press enter, and then you hope for the best that you've typed the password correctly, which was not the case for me. You can go ahead and try again. Let me try another combination here. There we go. Yay. Now that we are into Sally, you can go ahead and operate on your files. So for this case, we are actually going to make a directory called test. Well, we don't have test folder, so we'll call it test video with a V. And then we can go ahead and maneuver to that folder. And there we are. And I'm going to just put this on the side for now. And now I'm going to pull up another terminal. I got a bunch of them ready to go. And now for this terminal here, actually we'll use this one. I'm going to show you how to connect and transfer a file from your local machine into the remote server. So like, for example, suppose that I just went ahead and coded a program, a submission, an assignment, and I want to test to make sure that it works on Sally because Sally is what's being used to grade, or Bobby, or whatever the server is. So for that one, you're going to use SCP. And the way that you're going to use SCP is you're going to type in SCP, and then you're going to put in the name of the file that you want. Actually, I want this one. So main.cpp. And then you're going to put in the space, and then you're going to put in your logging information again and the server again. So whatever server. They all have the same files. Sally, Bobby, they all contain the same file, so that doesn't matter as much. But I would recommend just typing in Sally directly there if you're working with Sally. So once you finish typing in the login, so sally.cs.unlv.edu, you're going to put a colon, and now you got to put in there the location in the server where you want to store it. So already here in this terminal, I'm at the location of this file, and if I wasn't, I would have to put the directory here. So ideally open a terminal inside of the location where your file you're transferring is. And now over here, I can type in the command pwd, which will tell me the directory location of where I am, and then I can copy that here as such to copy the file there. Once I've done that, I have two choices. I can either just put a dot, and that dot, and then I can just press enter and I'm ready to go. And that dot means that it'll copy the same name, so that means that it'll copy the file main.cpp here. And the other option is I can also type in like another name like this, and in that case, it'll actually copy it with that name. So that's strictly what you want it to be named when it gets there. For now, we'll just copy it with the same name. Then I press enter, and then it's going to ask me for my password. So you just go ahead and type in your password. And then if everything goes well, it'll tell you the file name and the percentage and then the transfer rate. So if it was a big file, you'd actually see this percentage slowly increase from 0 to 100 and the time it took. In this case, with these kind of small files, it was pretty much immediate. If I go ahead and refresh here, I can see that the file is now here, and I can even run it. There's a little lag there. And yay, it worked. The program works just fine. So now I'm ready to submit it to Canvas or Moodle or wherever you're submitting. But suppose that you had done some modifications here. So maybe I'm gonna go ahead and modify here the file, and you know, I'm like, no, that's not what the assignment said to do. The assignment said to do hello world. There we go. Save it. And so now I want to transfer back, I want to transfer back the main.cpp file back into my local machine so that I can submit it, because now I went ahead and tested this and it's exactly what the assignment required. Okay, so now I'm going to SCP from the remote server to my local machine. So in this case, it's a matter of flipping this and this. So I'll type in SCP, and then I'm going to type in my login information for Sally, and then I'm going to put the colon, then I'm going to put the location of the file /main.cpp. And now I'm going to, if I put a dot here, just be careful. This would copy the file back to the same directory, and in this case it's going to overwrite my original file, which that can be very dangerous thing to do. So instead of using the dot, I'm going to say Sally main.cpp to indicate that that's the file that I copied back. So if I use the dot, it would have copied the file with the same name, but then risk overwriting my original file. So instead, I'm giving it a brand new name. I press enter. Again, I type in my password for Sally, and then I wait and hope Sally is working. And let's just, you know, put some elevator music while it's doing its thing. Maybe I typed the password wrong. I don't know what's happening. Let's just wait and hope. There we go. Yay. It copied it. Even though it said it copied immediately, there was that lag. Feels bad, man. But anyways, if we go ahead and type in ls, we can see that we have Sally main.cpp. And to prove to you that it's the file that we had over there, we can compile and run it, and it says hello world. So now I've shown you how to connect to Sally. Oh, and by the way, once you're finished here with Sally, you can go ahead and just type in, well, in my case, I'm going to delete all this that I did. So I can go ahead and say remove test video, and I believe it's recursive to delete a folder. Yep. Okay, so now I can just type in exit to log out, and now I'm back to my local machine here, so I can close this terminal. But yeah, so now over here, I went ahead and showed you how to SSH into Sally, which again is SSH, your username at server name, which in this case was my username at sally.cs.unlv.edu. And then on the other side, I went ahead and showed you how to transfer files from your local machine into Sally using SCP, and then the file name that you're transferring locally, and then your username at your server name, and then you put in your password. For all of them, you got to put in your password. And finally, don't forget, after the server name here, you got to put in the location of the file. So you got to put in / blah, 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 blah. To get that location, you can type in pwd on the server as I showed you on the video. If you, if you just try to do it something like that, it probably will not let you because of the security. So at the very least, you need to put in your username like that. And then at least it'll copy it into the main directory, unless you have a specific directory you're trying to copy to. If you don't want it to be the same name, you can name whatever you want here. I don't know. And then if you're trying to do it the other way around from the remote server here, it's SCP, your user at server, location of file, blah, 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 .cpp, whatever it is. And then whatever you want. If you put a dot, it'll copy the same file name, or you can put, whatever like I did, sally.main. So hopefully you understood all of that. Hopefully this helps you transfer files remotely from Sally into your local machine. I highly recommend that on your local machine you're working on Linux, but ultimately that doesn't mean that you should just test it on your local machine. Always test it on the server that your instructor assigns you so that you can make sure your program does not have any surprises when the TA is grading it. Thank you and have a wonderful day.